Hey, welcome to Toontyme, bringing you Newcastle United news and discussion. So this is just a Monday reflection after the weekend's events. Um, I hope everyone enjoyed that match on Saturday against Fulham. It was I'm not gonna disrespect and say it was a stroll in the park, but the team, the boys, done very well, and they took advantage of the opportunity given to them when Fulham went down to 10. Even before then, I feel we were in control of the match and we were looking the more likely to go ahead. They seemed like they were on the ropes and they seemed very jittery and frustrated, and I think that's why Nathaniel Chalobah done that challenge, which was absolutely horrendous. The fact Marco Silva even tried to defend it was very disappointing, as I feel that as a manager, first and foremost, you want to see sporting play from your team and the opposition, and it's unacceptable to say that challenges like that have a place in the game, because they do not. It was poorly timed, it was high, his studs on his ankle. He's very lucky that Sean Longstaff didn't pick up a proper injury, you know, that could have really affected him in the short term and the long term. But thankfully, he was able to walk it off and carried on and played very well on Saturday as well. Because personally, for me, I don't want to see that in the game. If I saw a Newcastle player do that, I'll be very disappointed, and depending on the severity of the challenge, maybe even angered by it, because the first thing I want to see for all 22 players who step on the pitch, plus the substitutes, that they're able to walk off it as well. You know, I like a, I like to see good challenges. I like to see physical contact and good, hard but fair challenges. And what Chalobah done was very poor. And if I see that from any Newcastle players challenges like that, I'm gonna call it out and say it's terrible, because there's no need for it. Anyway, but that's why I felt like that was the root of why he done that challenge. Maybe he was trying to put a literal stamp on the game. He was trying to make himself known, his presence felt in the midfield, and he done a very poor challenge. I know that's not his nature, because I've seen him over the years and I've never known him to really pick up like even yellow cards that much. Never mind red cards. So, so so unfortunately that's what happened. I know there was an intent on his part, but it was a very poor challenge, and he was rightly sent off. So talking about the game, it was a good performance. We took advantage of the numerical uh, advantage that we got from Fulham going down to 10, and they moved the ball very well. We picked them apart basically, and the other thing was just unrelenting pressure until the final 10 minutes or so. But that also was probably because of the amount of subs that happened as well. So the rhythm was disrupted for us. But yeah, it was a quality performance. He just handled them. I did say in my previous broadcast, which is now a few days ago, uh, that I felt that we were the better team going into it, and we proved to be. Some people will point to the fact that we were playing 10 men, but we can only play what's in front of us. And like I said, before Chalobah was sent off, we were on top. You know, we were looking the more likely to score, and probably if he had stayed on by the 20th minute, that Fulham crowd would have went very quiet, because we were just overwhelming them. Anything that they tried, we were just swarming them, pressing them with that intensity that Eddie Howe has instilled in the team. And once we're in possession, we're looking comfortable. We're using the width, playing through the lines. It was just quality play. So it was inevitable that something was going to happen. And I said on the Twitter just before Callum Wilson scored that with him there, we had that extra cutting edge, and it proved to be. His goal was just a tap in. It was a very much a poacher's finish, but it was that sharpness of a striker who's hungry for goals. I felt sorry for Joe Willock, but that's all I want to see from the strikers. That they want goals at all times, and that mentality it will filter through the team. It's a winning mentality. As well, you have to look at the Miguel Almiron performance. He's seems like he's on that revenge tour for at the moment from last season, from the comments from Jack Grealish, who will continue to get stick as Almiron continues to show us this form. He's a bit up and down, but he done quite well for us on Saturday. He was excellent. He was making those positive runs. For the for his first goal, which was absolutely beautiful. Outside the foot type volley is it was the movement more that impressed me. The way that he linked off Bruno G. It's a quick 1-2 and an excellent ball by Bruno over the top for him, and the finish is that composure, but it's more the confidence that he had for me, that he had in himself to take on that shot. That shows the development in his game. His second goal, poacher's finish, got to that back post. That's something that you never really used to see from him. That he was getting into those type of positions, but from pre-season onwards, he's trying to be more proactive and be more effective in the attacking third, rather than just that running and endeavour that he shows. He's showing that hunger for goals to be a positive influence on the attack, and he needs to be. The Eddie Howe coming in, the new ownership, he must know, his agent must have told him as well, this is an excellent opportunity to showcase your abilities and potentially get to play on the stage that you want to. So he looks like he's grasped the nettle, and he's trying to do as much as he can. As probably Isaac and is integrated into the team, he most likely will probably end up on the bench. But all he can do is continue to do what he does, is work hard, and he'll get his opportunities. And even if he does become just a squad player, he's an excellent option off the bench. He can play multiple positions, and the first thing you're gonna get from Almiron is hard work. That he'll work extremely hard for the team, and he won't give up on lost causes. And that's what you want. You want that passion, basically, to continue to try. So another things to pick out, Bruno, he was excellent as well. He was dictating play. He was pulling the strings for us. I saw that it was disappointing to come off, but Eddie Howe done the same thing with Callum Wilson. He took him off early. The game was won. Protect the players for the upcoming games that just come back from injuries. There's no need to there's no need to push beyond what was necessary. They were excellent on the pitch, but we've got other games to deal with, and we've been heavily hit by injuries, so have to protect them as much as possible. I've seen people talking about Joe Willock as well. He was quite good on Saturday, to be honest. One thing I did like from him, I remember when it was, I think, was it 2-0? Yeah, it was 2-0 at the time. Yeah, I believe so. I may be wrong. But anyway, there was a time where he got through and he had Callum Wilson on the back post. If he slid it through to him, it would have just been a simple tapping. And he chose to shoot. And that was a very poor decision. But the fact that he set up Almiron's goal is testament to the fact that he learned from his mistake. You know, I understood that he wanted to show that hunger for goals, but it was a poor decision at the time not to pass it to Callum Wilson. But he learned from it, recovered, continued with his game, and got an assist where he just put it through to the back post for Almiron to get that goal. And that's all I want to see from him, that he's continued to try and to develop, and that's all he can do is make his mistakes, but not dwell on them. Just pick his head up, continue, and move forward. The defense didn't really have much to do until the end, and the goal that got conceded, I'm not gonna blame them so much because it's hard on the it's hard to come in with the final 10 minutes or so and try and get that rhythm together as a defense, especially as all subs. And the team was flagging a bit then as well, so it's one of those things. I would have preferred to see a clean sheet, as Sven Botman would have wanted as well, as I saw that he was quite unhappy conceding that goal, and that's what you want to see, that passion to keep certain standards. We should have come through that game unblemished in terms of conceding, but it's one of those things. Eddie Howe was trying to keep players fresh. Just come back from an international break, we've picked up quite a few injuries. Just keep as many players available as possible. So I could understand. It's unusual, but I could understand what he's thinking. Let's say congratulations as well to Callum Wilson and Elliot Anderson, that they've got new contracts with the club. So that's good for them going forward. Especially with the Elliot Anderson, he came on as well, and he was quite good. He made some good touches, sensible, pretty much. He tried to have a couple of driving runs. They didn't come off for him as much as in his previous cameos, but I like to see what he's trying. He's always trying to do something, be proactive, and make things happen for the team. I saw that the new signing, Garang Kual, I think I'm pronouncing it right, I may be wrong, but the young Australian was in the stands, and he must have enjoyed that, seeing the team tear into Fulham. But he must have also enjoyed seeing that. I don't know if he knows as much of the recent history of players like Almiron, but seeing like Elliot Anderson getting the opportunity, so he knows young players get the opportunity. But seeing if he knows a bit about Newcastle United in recent years, seeing Almiron in contrast to previous seasons, the way that he's been developed by Eddie Howe, I hope that he sees that as much as he may get a chance as a young player, that Eddie Howe does like to try and mould players and improve them and get as much out of them as possible. I mean, look at Jacob Murphy. I've spoken about him, that he's been looking a bit disillusioned, at the very least. But he was given an opportunity to start on Saturday, and he grasped the nettle. He was trying to make decisions quickly and proactively. He's trying to get into the dangerous spaces. He was doing a lot more rather than the usual dithering, seeming like he doesn't know what he wants to do next once he receives the ball. That's not what you expect to see from a Premier League level player. They should all start to have clear pictures in their head of what they're gonna do before they even receive the ball. I mean, even at amateur level, that's the first thing you're really told. That when you get you should already know what comes next. Are you gonna knock it on? Are you gonna look for a quick 1-2? Are you gonna knock it back. Those basic things. What what are you? What is in your head to try and help your team? And for the previous times when he comes on the pitch, he just seems like he's all over the place mentally. Like he gets the ball and he's like, what is this in front of me? What am I supposed to do with this? But on Saturday, he looked like he was trying to make decisions, trying to be dangerous in the attacking third and make decent decisions. I mean, I remember in the first half, he was on the left and he took a shot on. It was a poor shot really, but truthfully, he should have used the option outside of him because he had an overlap, I think. But I didn't mind it personally. I was glad that he made a decision, one way or the other, to try and be effective. And I hope he continues to try and develop his game. I don't know what the future holds for him. He may be in the squad for at least next season, but I don't know what Eddie Howe plans to do with him because you can see that he likes him and he wants to give him an opportunity to prove himself. But considering the quality of signings that are coming in, I don't know what comes next for Jacob Murphy personally. Yeah, so those are my observations from this Saturday, and I don't know. What do you think? I'd like you to join the conversation. I'm on Twitter, Toontyme 1892, and there's a YouTube as well. It's Toontyme, TOONTYME, and yeah, that's it basically. So once again, thank you for listening, wherever you are. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Peace.